Welcome back to the final round of the 2021 Nitro Lord Ultimate Karting Championship from here at Warden Law in Sunderland. The Sodi Kart Academy has seen over 25 young drivers taking part this year, although sadly not all at the same time. But this weekend, we're pleased to say that we've got 12 youngsters lining up on the grid. So let's go and see how they've all qualified and take a look at the race highlights with your commentator, Jake Sansom.
It'll be James Roberts on pole from Dan Minto, then Rory Armstrong and Charlie Kelso. Charlotte Stanley will be P5 beside Jack Freeman, then Bethany Freeman will be alongside Jacob Rump, then Lewis Smith, Alex Jones, Jensen Brown and Jake Grufferty. Here we go, up to the first corner. Good start from James Roberts, trying to hold on to the lead as they go in through turn one. So little grip to be found, but the wet line, the karting line, round the outside is the saving grace. On board with Jacob Rump, getting his way down into the inside line for the hairpin, and I think he's made the place there on Jack Freeman. No problem at all as he gets the overtake. He's got another driver or two to duel with on this opening lap. These sort of conditions really help the prepared, but Dan Minto has got the start he wanted. James Roberts is still there in P2, but it's an absolute textbook launch from Dan Minto as he now leads the way as they go out of St John's, up towards centre 1 and 2, and up towards the back chicane. This is absolutely perfect. Jacob Rump back on the inside line, getting another place made up, as he really is making full advantage of this strong opening lap. And now he's got Charlie Kelso in front of him. Can he make another move?
Good start for the young man we like to call our TDi Media mascot. He spends so much time with the crew. Up the inside, another place made up. Jacob is on fire today.
Oh, how about that for a switchback from Kelso? He dropped 2 places but made 1 back as he came back on the power. And this is such an important skill to get right as well. You cannot afford to panic if you lose a couple of places in the wet, because you can get back on the power a fraction of a second ahead of your opponents and make up some of that deficit. So really well reacted there. Oh, a spin in the background. Didn't quite see who that was, but that just shows you how tricky the conditions are as Charlie Kelso has had to fight his way back into position. I think we had a spin there from Jones. I'll have to double check it later, but Rory Armstrong is the champion-elect. If he just keeps this together in the top 3, he would dearly love to bow out with a win, but staying in the top 3 positions will be more than enough for the young man from Northern Ireland.
Jacob Rump we're on board with here. This is his best performance of the season so far, in 4th place. The wet conditions suit him, Jake, because he is something like 10 kilos overweight, so he really struggles. He loves karting, but he really struggles to compete in the dry conditions. Today in the wet, of course, weight can actually help you.
Absolutely, but the thing is, all he's going to do is grow a few inches over the winter. Oh, he's going to lose it!
Oh, 360!
What a save that was!
Dancing on ice!
Absolutely, that was like something out of Tokyo Drift, Fast and the Furious, amazing. He caught that beautifully, and he's only lost 1 position.
I think Jake did that deliberately, to be honest.
Oh.
Knows he's got the camera on. Let's go
Oh,
have a bit of drama.
and another drift off the road there.
Charlie Kelso running wide, I think, Jake, that is.
Oh, so easy to do. The trouble is, all you catch is just an inch or 2 off the normal line. You catch a wet patch and it spits you out. Now, this is a replay. This is Alex Jones and Jensen Brown. Jones is going to swap ends. Jensen Brown is literally going to have nowhere to go.
Jensen Brown lucky not to be collected. He's on the concrete, but that's okay. As long as he doesn't go on the grass, he'll be okay. He's carried on. Alex Jones, the least experienced of all the drivers here today.
Side by side, Jacob Rump on Charlotte Stanley, and he's through and taps the helmet. Come on, Charlotte, let's get after the guys in front. Nice little manoeuvre. We continue on a little further into the race, and now we're going to get the move on Alex Jones to put a lap on him, I think, on the inside line. Nicely handled, trying not to trip over the other drivers, and going through the traffic's a very important part of this learning process as well. It doesn't happen too much. There's a spin from Jensen Brown. This time he does get caught out, but he manages to recover nice and quickly. Very easy to drop it. The battle for the lead, however, is still getting very intense as James Roberts has caught back up to Dan Minto. And with Rory Armstrong safe in 3rd position, he doesn't need to get into anybody's difficulties here. So Dan Minto and James Roberts, going into the last lap of the season, can battle away in fantastic fashion. Who's going to get this, Minto or Roberts?
Dan Minto had a comfortable lead earlier in the race. We've not seen much of these two because they were so far clear. But look at this, Roberts now right on him and past him.
Absolutely brilliant. He squeezes Dan Minto. James Roberts making the opportunity come to him, and the young man from Liverpool has absolutely squirted the kart on the inside line. Perfect blend of the throttle. Gets the application on the steering right, drifts a little bit wide on the exit, but that's fine in the wet conditions. You take a wider line in the tricky conditions, and now Roberts is trying to hang on again from Minto as they get side by side, running out of corners to do anything about this now. Dan Minto trying to get back into the lead on James Roberts through the back chicane as they squirt through the right. They're going to be side by side. They bang wheels. Onto the inside comes Minto. Sliding through the hairpin. Roberts is going to have the faster trajectory out of the course and runs right round the outside. Gets back into the horseshoe. Into the lead. Here comes Minto. Back on the inside again. Retakes it. Roberts is going to have one final go around the outside of the hairpin. He'll switch back on acceleration. Can he get there before the line? It's going to be tight. It's going to be close. Who's got it? Oh my goodness. Minto and Roberts almost at a dead heat of the line. Now who is going to get it? It's Minto by 0.052. Absolutely incredible. Minto saves his bacon to the last. Rory Armstrong claims the championship in third position almost as an afterthought. Great racing from Jacob Rump, Charlotte Stanley and Charlie Kelso. The Freemans, Jack and Bethany, Jensen Brown and Jake Gruffity in the top 10. But what a brilliant win for Dan Minto.
I was in the lead for the most of the race, and then it went off, and then he caught me, and then he passed me, and then I got him back, and then it finished like that.
Yeah, it was an amazing end to that, wasn't it? How do you feel? You must feel
I
fantastic.
feel brilliant.
Yeah, you should do too. Who do you want to thank?
Hunter Motorsport and everyone that's helped us.
Okay, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Dan Minto and James Roberts gave us the entertainment in the season finale, but Rory Armstrong is the champion by 18 points ahead of Roberts. Jack Freeman in a brilliant third place. Zane Quaker and Jacob Rump in the top 5. Bo Rocky Mulvaney doing a great job in 2021 as well. Now, the guest class this weekend here at Warden Law is Minimax. Problems off the grid for Finley Buck, who was due to start P11 regardless. Now he's going to have to try and catch the field as quickly as possible at the start of racing. On the front row of the grid, it's Ethan Head and Finn McElwraith, then Jack Thompson and Jay Smith, Aris Mayauskas and Alexander Zingarevich, then Devon Nolan and Alexander Duffy. Watch for Freddie Housley. He's way down the order compared to how fast he's been over the weekend. P9 for him, so he'll be making places. Here we go, up to the first corner. And it's going to be an interesting one as Ethan Head comes through. Aris Mayauskas is trying to get into the lead. As he tucks through on the inside line, he's up to second place already. And a spin! Oh, and they've all gone right. Goodness me, 2 carts dropping it. That's Devon Nolan going off the road, and so too did Jay Smith. So unfortunate as Aris Mayauskas was up to second place and then spun the Argenti Motorsport car. He will be on the fight back. I'll tell you who is on the fight back already is Freddie Housley. He's going through the field like a jackrabbit.
He certainly is. Finley Buck doesn't look like he made the start of the race, so he's well behind. But yeah, Aris Mayauskas is very lucky not to collect the other carts there, Jake. They took to the grass, and in fact, it looks like they've actually helped them. They did sort of make up places potentially across the grass, but I think the clerk of the course will take a lenient view on that one, bearing in mind the conditions and the circumstances.
So Freddie Housley already up into 4th position is up the inside. That's a big lunge from Finn McElwraith, who's obviously lost ground off the start. But Freddie Housley had mechanical problems before the start of this race, so now he is charging his way back through, and in one lap he's gone from 9th to 4th. That is absolutely powerhouse stuff from Housley. Now he's got McElwraith back on the inside. A little further into the race, and we can see that Aris Mayauskas has started to fight back. That's Alex Duffy on the red speed chassis behind us. And as we battle for the lead up front, it's Jay Smith who has worked his way through ahead of Ethan Head. Now, Jay Smith actually went off the road on the first lap, didn't he? So he's been very fortunate that it hasn't affected him too severely.
Yeah, I would say actually probably helped him, arguably, because when he came back on the track, I think he was sitting in second at the time and leading now. He is the new race leader, the privateer. That is the 48 we're looking at, Ethan Head.
And Devon Nolan's got away with a couple of moments as well. He's up in 3rd position ahead of McElwraith and Housley, who are battling away. Aris Mayauskas in P6 from Duffy, Zingarevich, Elliot Powell and Finley Buck, who is there in P10. Now here's Freddie Housley for the Sam Pollock Racing Team. What a terrific end to the season. He's having, oh, and a big slide behind him. Goodness me, Aris Mayauskas trying to make his bid on Finn McElwraith, and McElwraith not giving him plenty of room to go for it. So Aris Mayauskas is having to work for it side by side. Mayauskas trying to get the dive on the inside line. And a little bit of a hold up there for McElwraith because he was trying to get past Housley on the inside line. Jack Thompson, I'm afraid, there he is out of the race on the home stretch. So that is a disaster for the Hunter Motorsport driver. His season comes to a difficult end. Here's Mayauskas. Now he's going to get his run on the inside of McElwraith. Can he get through? Beautiful, textbook. Not easy to get that move done on the exit in these slippery conditions, but that's Mayauskas up in a P5 ahead of McElwraith and Alex Duffy on the red speed.
The rain was pouring earlier on, Jake. You may have seen some of the earlier images as we look at the battle for fourth. It's another place made up.
Yeah, that's Duffy up to P6, so Duffy making the move there, and that's got him past once more, so McElraith is going to have to work very hard to get himself back. What a difficult race final this is turning out to be for him on the front row at the start, don't forget.
You start to see a bit of a dry line, sort of seeming like it's developing. I was saying before, heavy rain earlier in the day. I mean, the meeting was in danger of being cancelled completely. It was coming down. You see now we've got sunshine. Now, it doesn't necessarily help the drivers as the sun glints off the wet track.
That was a big check off the curbs there for Freddie Housley as the back end drifts around, and Aris Mijalskis is going to get a run on the inside line. Wheel to wheel, Housley defending valiantly, trying to hold the kart round the outside, but Mijalskis is going to have the inside line and the place. Housley's not given up though. He's still there round the outside. Brilliant bravery from Housley. He's going to drop back initially now because there goes Duffy on the red speed. He goes through up into 5th position as well. You've just got to think, how far ahead of the rest of the field could Freddie Housley have been if he'd actually started this race towards the front end of the field, because he's been rapid all weekend and he is still battling in frenetic style. Back on board with Mijalskis on the inside. He gets back through, this time on Devon Nolan, so he's now in the top 3. A great fight back from Aris Mijalskis. He really has got himself back into contention. Jay Smith in the lead, Ethan Head in second. This is the last lap, so it's pretty much done and dusted for Jay Smith as long as he just keeps it together, just holding on in this final lap. Very easy to get complacent when you think you know where the grip is, and then all of a sudden the kart drifts away. But a 107.48 indicative that Jay Smith is definitely in a good rhythm. He's not going to lose this now if he can help it. Out of the back chicane, onto the back straight, which ironically isn't that straight because it's a long curvature. But this has been an absolutely exemplary drive from Jay Smith. He has held on valiantly all the way through this race, kept himself nice and neatly in front of Ethan Head, not pushed too hard, got himself some space, and he will now come into Paddock Bend. A brilliant guest appearance from Minimax in this season finale. Hopefully we'll see more from them in 2022. Jay Smith, though, is the man who is victorious in front of Ethan Head. And in 3rd position behind them, what a comeback drive from Aris Mijalskis, the wrong way in turn 1. And now here he is in 3rd position, coming through ahead of Devon Nolan. And what a comeback from Freddie Housley as well. Excellent stuff. He was given a post-race penalty, unfortunately. That drops him behind Finn McElraith. But Housley, a great fight back nonetheless. Alexander Duffy in P7 from Finley Barker recovers to 8th. Elliot Powell and Alexander Zingarevich rounding out the top 10. But a great guest appearance for Minimax. Hopefully there's more from them next year.
Well, congratulations to all those Minimax drivers there, offering us up the excitement for the first time this season in the UKC. In the finish, though, it was a pretty cruisy victory for Jay Smith, who clocked up fastest lap after fastest lap. Well done to him, though. Let's go and see what he had to say at the podium.
What are you normally doing? Obviously UKC, a bit of a national championship, guest class this weekend, but what do we normally see you in?
I normally do the IKR rounds here in Rowra.
Okay, and who do you want to thank for your weekend?
My dad, HRS, Nigel, and my family for the support.
Okay, congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, join us in part 3 when we are back with more racing from Warden Law. It's the Junior Rotax class. Don't go away.